Alex, why don't you come join me? Hine ma tovu manai, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manai, shevet achim gam yachad.
shevet ahim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov shevet ahim gam yachad. Hinei ma tovu manayim shevet ahim gam yachad. Hinei ma tovu manayim shevet ahim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov shevet ahim gam yachad. Hinei ma tov shevet ahim gam yachad. Hinei ma tovu manayim shevet ahim gam yachad. Hinei ma tovu manayim shevet ahim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. Shalom to you in person and to you on Zoom. There you are. Shabbat Shalom. If you are on Zoom, we invite you, if you are able, to always turn on your camera so we get to see you. And those of you on Zoom get to see one another, to create that community as we get to see the glorious faces of one another here. And I get the honor, together with you, of seeing everybody. So with that, we will take the next step into community, being together with candle lighting. For those of you who are young and young at heart, we invite you to come over to our candle lighting area. So on our first Fridays, we have more candles for more folks to come and join in the candle lighting.
And we'll invite Alex's family to come and join us to lead the blessing.
Exactly. Got Alex,
Alex
Evan,
over
Kyle,
here.
where's Dan and Lisa will lead us in the blessing. And so there's you can light the
Okay,
matches.
Matches are
and
there and available. Go ahead. Plenty, more
We'll
than enough
first
for
light
each
the
person to do one.
candles.
Let's
Yep.
get the lighting started. Do you want to do it?
You know what we can do? We can actually, let's light these ones and then use them as shamashes to light these ones. Yeah, you can light this, actually, watch, like Hanukkah. Yeah, you can redo that one, and then we can light. I know sometimes these the big ones give us the opportunity, as we know, to those of us who use these candles regularly, to just slow down and start Shabbat by really slowing down and taking a breath. Exactly, and then they are, I know. Yes, and you have to blow it, you have to take your mask off to blow it off. I've learned that the hard way. So somebody could take this one and light some over here. And then it's always interesting to see where does the air exactly flow over in this area. We know really
We're
up,
gonna have Alex to lead us in the
See.
blessing, so he's ready.
up on the Bimah, but
Thank you.
there we go. The rest of us can just really be ready to receive that light, slowing down from our week, everything taken us to this moment.
Alex, come on up. We've got a spot for you to lead us in the blessing.
On page 5, if you'd like to follow along with the words.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Nicely done.
Amen. Great. Shabbat Shalom again. Having officially entered. Thank you to the Krieger family, greater family here. It's a special evening this evening as we get to have Alex's leadership leading into tomorrow morning and his bar mitzvah, and we get to mark labor on the Bimah with special guests. For all these beings that are here in this unique configuration tonight, online and in person, and for all those beings that come on Shabbat to escort us, to welcome us. Page 13, we welcome in the angels in all the forms that they take. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Mo'achem v'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni v'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Bimah, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Page 25. Continuing to sing on out this Shabbos. As the words tell us, we sing Shiru Ladonai Shir Chadash in this configuration of this evening. It will be a new song every week, a new way that we can sing our new song to the divine. Shiru Ladonai Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai Kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Shiru Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai Kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai Baruchu Shemo, Baruchu Leyom Leyom Yeshuato. Shir Adonai, Kol Haaretz, חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ. כל הארץ, the whole land is singing with us this evening. Page 41. The whole land is singing with us. Page 41, the whole land, led by our voices this evening, is welcoming in the Sabbath bride. We are here at a wedding once again. What is the joy? What is the connection? What is the opportunity that presents us at this time when we welcome in the bride into our midst? השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. 43. כי היא מקור הברכה, לראש מקדם משוכה, צורה זה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, 47. ימין ושמאל, ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ואת אדוני תריצי, על יריש תקרצי, ונשמחה ונעילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please rise. We can open the doors. We're welcoming in. Here she comes, the Sabbath bride in all her glory. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני אב סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. You can remain standing. Turn to page 57. And once we have our page number, we can turn to those on Zoom and those here in person. We can look around, turning to one another, greeting who is here in this community, greeting one another with a smile of our eyes before we welcome in the divine officially into our midst. Page 57.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach leolam vaed.
You may be seated.
Yes, indeed.
Page 61. Or page 60? Did you want page 59 is what you wanted, I
We're
think?
going to do Ahavat Olam next.
Yeah, page
yes?
59 with the
Yes,
Hebrew,
yes,
right?
yes, and I've
Page
got-
59, actually. 59. Actually, 59 is the Shebi Barah. Sorry.
Yes, sorry. Little miscommunication.
Well,
with my
page
partner.
63. How about moving forward to page 63?
63. 63, yes.
That's what you wanted.
We will find it. We'll find each other. Let's come up with a pun about that.
Well, it's about love. We're talking about love here, so
Love
we
will
have
find
to
a way,
maybe
yes.
feel the eternal love, even when we're talking about different page numbers. It gives us time to find love here and there, forward and back,
And
all
Elul is the
around.
month of love. Is that not right?
It is. Anila Dodi V'Dodi Li, the acronym for this Jewish month of Elul. My
All right.
beloved, my beloved is mine. Here we are in the eternal house of love.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavtam, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadetan. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, v'shochteinu u'komeinu, nasiach b'chorecha, ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו לאורך ימינו, ובהם נגד יומם בלילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני,
ברוך הוא ושמו.
אוהב עמו ישראל.
Amen.
And now we are pleased to have Alex join us again.
Page
To lead
65.
us in the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shem kavod malchut ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, לשבתך בביתך ובלצך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, ושרתם מאוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue on your own with the words of the Siddur or the words of your heart. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור. Adonai Elohechem Emet. Page 71 is a reading under the line about the Shema. In the handwritten scroll of the Torah, the word Shema of Shema Yisrael ends with an oversized ayin, and the word Echad ends with an oversized dalet. And taken together, these two letters spell Ed, witness. And tomorrow we will learn more about witnesses during the morning service. So I invite you to come to understand about witnesses in the Torah. But as we are here this evening, having recited the Shema, having come together in community for this Shabbat, with Alex's leadership, with labor on the Bimah guests, with this community of Shabbat, when we recite the Shema, when we gather in community in this way, we bear witness. We are the witnesses to our awareness of something so much larger than any one of us. Amen.
Amen.
With that, we turn to page 79, where every Shabbat we bear witness to the fact that we can free ourselves in small or large ways, and sometimes we don't feel that freedom, and sometimes we do.
We celebrate freedom with Mi Chamocha, and tonight is such a wonderful opportunity to remember that we share common cause in celebrating freedom with other peoples, and we are so blessed to have a special guest who's going to remind us how to bear witness to that opportunity. And tonight's melody for Mi Chamocha pays tribute to that.
Which? Open.
Open. Mi Chamocha, page 79. With a little introduction. The only thing that we've done wrong is staying in the wilderness too long.
Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on.
Hold on. The only thing that we've done right was the day we started to fly.
Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Mi Chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi Chamocha nedar b'kodesh. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Torah tehilot, oh Sefer. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch Shemo.
גאל ישראל
Page 81. Baruch atah Adonai, compassionate one. You spread your canopy of peace, of wholeness over all Israel and all of Yerushalayim. Turn now to page 91. I invite you to rise for your personal prayers. And there's words in the Siddur, there's little italics at the top of the page on 9091 to direct you to other places if you would like something else to focus on during some time, quiet time, or just again the words of your heart. Come together with Anose Shalom shortly. Just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Page 107.
Shalom Bimah, Uyase Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ve'imru Amen. Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Yase Shalom, Yase Shalom,
עלינו ועל כל ישראל. ואמו Amen. May there be peace for us, for Israel, and for everyone on this earth. Amen.
Amen.
We turn from our prayers to the prayers of healing for those in our community, those in our family, our friends. We can start the chant together, Moshe's words, Moses' words on behalf of his sister Miriam. Anna, please, Elna, God, Rifana la, heal her, heal them. Anna, Elna, Anna, Elna, Anna, Elna, Rifana la, Anna, Elna, Anna, Elna, Anna, Elna, Rifana la, Anna, Elna. Ariana Kane, Mary Levine, Fanny Kuznets, Ronnie Brown, Alan Sachs, Avram Yaakov, Ben Mota Gittel, Linda Bergovsky, Liba Rochel, Bat Yaakov, Vecherna, Michael Schoenfeld, Sharon Millis, Shifralea, Bat Yaakov, Vecherna, Phyllis Hopman, Fegele Bat Lepa, Heather Kuznets, Julian Miller, Father William Tracy, Rabbi Marsha Prager, Harav Miriam Yael Bat Sarah, Van Tipton, Sidkiyahu Yehuda, Ben Van Beverly, Gary Rosenthal, Bella Clamage, Baila Bat Brandel, Vizchal Yitzchak, Larry Clamage, Leber, Ben Yehuda, Leib Lillian, Diane Miller, Charlie Wieners, Mary Wieners, Retha Pokrifke, Simeon Becher, Stan Kuznets, Joshua Ben Moshe Basia, Yelena Skamarakas, Lea Bat Liba Simeon, Liba Becher, and Thomas Gaines and Elizabeth Gaines, Myra Whittock, Stephen David, Lisa Cotley, Dan Touris Dubrow, Marge Levy, Linda Siegel, Mike Friedel, Patrick Matthews, Diane Brovman, Myra Whittock, Sid Brovman, Aaron David Shmuel, Sarah Glazer, Nachshon Karmi, Nikki Lincoln, Mara Butcher, Dan Glazer. If there are additional names you'd like to mention. Karen Meckler, Leo Solander, Ethan Solander, and Chelsea Raymond. Ana Elna, Ana la, Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Revana la. Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Ana Elna, Revana. We hold them with visions of vibrancy and vitality, being supported to health, strong health in all levels, at all levels. Amen.
Amen.
So, I would like to call up Cantor Emeritus Charlie Bernhardt for a special introduction of our special guest Elise. And you'll hear more in just a moment as our special labor on the Bimah. זהו. בבקשה, תודה לך.
Yom Avodah Sameach. I'm up pretty loud, aren't I? All right, I'll try and compensate from this end. Happy Labor Day. For the upteenth time, Oseh Shalom is joining synagogues, churches, and mosques across the country to celebrate the relationship between our faith communities and the interests of working people. I have lost count of how many times we have done this, but I'm proud to say that Oseh has been part of labor on the Bimah, altar, and minbar from the year it began. In this week's Torah portion, Shoftim, we read the famous statement, Tzedek, Tzedek tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue. This sums up the goals of the labor movement. Justice on the job, justice in the community, and justice in our country. Over the years, our Labor on the Bimah program has focused on supporting strikes, boycotts, organizing efforts, and legislation to improve the lot and enhance the rights of working people. The observance of Labor on the Bimah by synagogues in the Baltimore-Washington area have often been coordinated by Jews United for Justice. And we are very pleased to have JUFJ's Maryland community organizer, Eliana Cooper, with us tonight. And she will be with us at the Oneg after services to answer some questions. But before I go any further, I want to ask Heidi Rhodes to come up and share some info about last year's program.
Just real quickly, for those of you who remember last year, I talked about the Paid Family Medical Leave Act and how important it was to pass it. We did. We passed it. And there's still work to be done, though, because we need to make sure that the implementation works the right way. And so I have information that if anybody wants, I'll have it out here and at the Oneg about what's in store for paid family medical leave coming up.
Thanks, Heidi. This year, we're going to go in a slightly different direction from years past. Our presentation will look at the historical and current efforts of the African American and Jewish communities to promote justice in America. Our special guest tonight is Elise Bryant. I've known Elise for 20 some odd years, and she is a true Renaissance woman. She is the longtime director of the DC Labor Chorus, which many of you will recall performed here at Oseh for my 25-year concert. She is the national president of the Coalition of Labor Union Women, which seeks to empower women for greater participation at all levels in the union movement. She is the executive director of the Labor Heritage Foundation, which, among other things, sponsors the annual Great Labor Arts Exchange. Elise is a former faculty member of the late, great National Labor College. Elise is a playwright, a theatrical director, producer, and actor. She's currently working on an autobiographical play entitled Queen of the Night. Elise makes me wonder if there really are only 24 hours in a day. Please welcome to the Bimah my sister, Elise Bryant.
Thank you, Charlie. Hello, family. A little closer? That's better. Okay, all righty. Greetings to all the peacemakers here tonight. Sisters, brothers, siblings, comrades, family. It is my honor and pleasure to join you in tonight's celebration of Shabbat. And on this Shabbat before Labor Day, I give thanks and honor to the ancestors who stepped off the ships, kissed the ground, and willed us to be here. I give thanks and honor to the Piscataway and Assateague ancestors on whose stolen land we stand. And I give honor to all the ancestors represented by all of us in this room on whose shoulders we stand. We, the siblings of bondage and deliverance, one from slavery in Egypt, the other from slavery in America. Let us come together to honor the work they did for justice and equality. May the work that I have done speak for me. May the work that I have done speak for me. If I fall short of my goal, someone else will take a hold. May the work that I have done speak for me. May the children I help raise, may the children I help raise speak for me. May the children I help raise speak for me. If I fall short of my goal, if I fall short of my goal, someone else will take a hold. Someone else will take a hold. May the children I help raise speak for me. May the people I have loved, may the people I have loved speak for me. May the people I have loved speak for me. If I fall short of my goal, if I fall short of my goal, someone else will take a hold. May the people I have loved speak for me. May the union I help build, may the union I help build speak for me. May the union I help build speak for me. If I fall short of my goal, someone else will take a hold. May the union I help build speak for me. I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, and Labor Day was a special holiday in the city of the Big Three: Ford, General Motors, and Chrysler. On that morning, my father would wake up early, put on his best suit, lace up his steel-toed boots, and then would march down Woodward Avenue next to thousands of fellow workers organized by union locals. Taking the day off, they would march with heads held high. Black, white, and brown, Christians and Jews, immigrants and native born, demonstrating the pride and the worth that the backbone of this nation deserves to know every day of our working lives. I grew up in a home where my parents spoke in admiration of Jewish people. My mother would say it all the time: Black people need to learn from Jewish people. We need to learn how to stick together. Our pastors preached and talked about how the children of Israel escaped from slavery and sang, "Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt land, tell old Pharaoh, let my people go, let my people go." I didn't learn about anti-Semitism until I went to college. My best friend was in a dorm where Nazi swastikas were sprayed painted on the walls, along with the words, "U of M is Jew U, go back to where you came from." What were they talking about? I was shocked. Who could hate the people who were torn from their families, sent to concentration camps, and murdered by the thousands in gas ovens? Didn't they read the Diary of Anne Frank or watch the movie? It was years later that I learned about Hitler's admiration of Henry Ford and his rabid hatred of Jews. He had a photograph of Henry Ford on his desk. My father worked for the Ford Company for 37 years. I was totally floored when I heard anti-Semitic words come from a Black person's mouth. Who could hate the people who helped found and fund the NAACP? Well, in preparing for this celebration, I learned a lot about when we came together and when we fell apart. So here we are in the year 2022, where Black people and Jewish people have fear of being killed in our places of worship. What happened? Once again, the forces of greed and white supremacy are using race and religion to divide the working class. In fact, to divide this country. Now, some say the relationship between Blacks and Jews have been both romanticized, perhaps on my side, and vilified. Some point to the fellowship between Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel and Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. as evidence of a natural alliance, while others cite the roots of the Crown Heights, Brooklyn, as a confirmation of a more insidious relationship. Jews have been accused of abandoning their commitment to racial equality and affirmative action policies, while Blacks have been charged with embracing anti-Semitism and racial nationalism. As one author put it, quote, "The relationship between Blacks and Jews have been seesawed between a grand alliance and a peculiar entanglement," end quote. The African American community and the Jewish community have been bonded by a similar exclusion from mainstream American society and a historic empathic connection that would carry us into the mid-20th century. However, beginning in the late 1960s, that partnership between our groups eventually faced challenges and began to dissolve, only to resurface again in the 21st century. Even in 1958, more than 10 years after the end of the Second World War, Martin Luther King Jr. had delivered a speech at the National Biennial Convention of the American Jewish Congress in which he related the struggles of the European Jews to those of African Americans. He said, "My people were brought to America in chains. Your people were driven here to escape the chains fashioned for them in Europe. Our unity is born of our common struggle for centuries, not only to rid ourselves of bondage, but to make oppression of any people by others an impossibility. That's where we come together. That is our common ground." I believe it was Jewish people's sense of otherness and injustice, and Black people's need for inclusion and justice that drew us together in the fight for civil rights and the time as the twin forces of racism and anti-Semitism rear their evil heads again. This is the time and this is the place for us to come together. I said shalom. Soon and very soon, we are gonna change the world. Soon and very soon, we are gonna change the world. Soon and very soon. Soon and very soon, we are gonna change the world. It's gonna last forever and ever. We're gonna change the world. Peace, jobs, and justice. Peace, jobs, and justice. We are gonna change the world. Peace, jobs, and justice. Peace, jobs, and justice. We are gonna change the world. Peace, jobs, and justice. Peace, jobs, and justice. We are gonna change the world. It's gonna last forever and ever. We're gonna change the world. Immigrants are welcome here. Immigrants are welcome here. Ah, we are gonna change the world. Immigrants are welcome here. Immigrants are welcome here. Yes, we are gonna change the world. Immigrants are welcome here.
Immigrants are welcome here. We are going to change the world forever and ever.
We're
Gonna change the world.
Peace in Jerusalem.
Peace in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
We are gonna change the world. Peace in Jerusalem. We are gonna change the world. Peace in Jerusalem. We are gonna change the world forever
And
ever.
we're gonna change the world. You can take the choir director out of the choir, but you can't take the choir out of the Bimah, okay? All righty, soon and very soon, we can build bridges of solidarity. My personal history compels me to do so. I saw an article in a Jewish labor history article, and I found a passage that touched my heart. It reads, quote, in June 1979, Joe Glazer invited labor musicians to the George Meany Center for Labor Studies in Silver Spring, Maryland, to share labor-related songs and to discuss the effective use of music, song, poetry, and chants in labor activism. The three-day event became an annual event known as the Great Labor Arts Exchange, which Charlie mentioned earlier, and it still exists today, end quote. Not only does it still exist today, but I am the executive director of the organization that three Jews, Joe Glazer, Joe Uline, and Saul Schneiderman, founded, the Labor Heritage Foundation. It was Saul Schneiderman who invited me to come to the Great Labor Arts Exchange in 1984, a mere 2 years before High Kornblue, on the advice of his wife, Joyce Kornblue, hired me to direct a labor theater project. Besides my parents, I wouldn't be standing before you today were it not for Jews. And let me just throw in Charlie Bernhardt, who invited me to be here, and who I met at the Great Labor Arts Exchange. Inspired by all I read, I have a thought. What if we, the peacemakers in this room, come together and develop a course of study that brings our communities together to learn from the lessons of our past, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Let us sit down together at the table of peace, and from our collective stories, this Labor Day, if you take the word labor and you spell it the British way, L-A-B-O-U-R, and you take history, you put them together and you circle the last 3 letters of labor and the last 5 letters of history, you get our story. We are a community united inextricably by our stories of bondage and deliverance. Com is a Latin word for with, and union is a Latin word for one. And we come together in communion, we come as one. When we sing together, we are in communion. And when we sing together, we breathe together. And when we breathe together, our hearts synchronize together. Thank you, Rabbi, for leading us in songs. I'm going to close with a song that is the anthem of the labor movement in the United States. It's a song that was sung in the South in the churches. Julia Ward Howe, white woman abolitionist, heard the song, legend goes, and turned it into the battle hymn of the Republic. And it became our anthem, Solidarity Forever. We'll start with the chorus. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. When the union's inspiration through the workers' blood shall run, there can be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Yet what force on earth is weaker than the feeble strength of one? For the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. This is a new verse. They divide us by our color. They divide us by our tongue. They divide us by our gender. They divide us old and young. But they'll tremble at our voices when they hear these verses sung, that the union makes us. And this is when we stand up and we take hands. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union makes us strong. Go in peace, go in love, go in solidarity forever.
Amen v'amen.
Indeed. Thank you, Elise. Powerful and inspiring words. Thank you, Elise. And so true about the singing and the hearts. If you haven't gotten that already, that is indeed why Judaism has us on Kabbalat Shabbat, to be coming into oneness with ourselves, with community, through that power that you really helped to amplify and lift up this evening. Thank you. So I will get my outline, and you can let people know.
All right,
where
we
are.
have sanctified this space by singing together in union, and we are going to say our blessing over the sanctification of our Shabbat. How about that segue? We're going to turn in our Sidurim to page 109 for a blessing, and I'm going to invite Alex to join me again. He's going to help lead us. First we'll do Vayachulu on page 109, and then we'll turn to 119 for the Kiddush after that.
What do we want to do about? We have little ones. We have some little ones. We can have a few. Let me grab the Kiddush cup for Alex. Okay, there's that.
All right, that's going to be yours. You'll know when the moment comes.
And then folks
All
can
right.
come afterwards and come to have some kiddush if they would like. I'll just pour a couple for now.
Shall we
but
have people
there's
come
more.
up now, Rabbi Daria? What do you think? For those who'd like
I
to.
think we will we'll do the official sanctification up here, and then afterwards, please come and pour yourself a cup of
Sounds
kiddush.
good. All right, page 109. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה.
Please rise.
ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות.
119.
L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kosho b'ahava u'ratzon hingilanu, zikaron v'maaseh b'reshit, ki hu yom tefillah l'mikra'e kodesh, זכר יציאת מצרים, כי אלינו קראת, ואותנו קידשת, לעבודתך, ושבת קודשך, באהבה ורצון, הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen.
Great.
Yashikah,
Great.
nicely done.
Thank
This has
you.
become a new feat of strength among our bar mitzvah students too. Drink the whole thing. It is grape juice.
You may be seated for a moment. We would like to invite up, as we do on our first Fridays, anybody who has a birthday in this month of September, or if you had a birthday in August and were not here, we invite you to come up to the Bimah for a special birthday blessing.
Birthdays, our birthdays.
Birthdays, September, August. Isn't your birthday around now? They can invite you up onto the Bimah. And if you're on Zoom and your birthday is also in those months, we invite you to rise on Zoom so that I can see you, to give you a birthday blessing as well. Let me see. Okay, David Friedman, Jackie Land. It's like Rabbi Rebecca, I think you're standing. Beth, oh, wonderful.
Well, there's a lot of September birthdays.
Great.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear all of you.
May the one who has blessed our ancestors bless all of you who have risen today in honor of your blessing, in honor of your birth, and in honor of all those who came before you so that you could be born, so that the gift of you, each one of you unique, with the gifts that you have to offer that have come into this world just for this time, so that we can all benefit from the gift of who you are and all those who know you and love you, so that you can find out what those gifts are and be supported in understanding more about who you are, why you might have, what you might have to offer into the world. May you be seen in those gifts. May you be seen in the potential gifts that you have and find nourishment to have them fulfilled so the world can find the tikkun that you are here, and you can find the tikkun, the healing that you're here to uniquely bring forth. We thank the Divine One for having us all arrive at this moment to celebrate each one of you. And let us say, Amen. Shachianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו
happy birthday, and many, many more.
Many, many
You may
more.
return. Be rise for Elenu. Happy birthday. Turn to page 121.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tekeru l'aliotzer reshit, shenatam lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu notei shamayim v'yosed haaretz, u'moshav Yaakov b'shamayim imav, u'shchinatu zo b'govhei meromim, hu Eloheinu ein od, Emet Malkeinu Efes Zulato, Kakatu B'Torato V'yadata Yom V'hashevota Elevavecha, Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim B'shamayim Mimahal V'al ha'aretz V'al ha'aretz V'itachayet Ein od Ein od.
Kakatu b'toatecha
125.
Nayim lo leolam va'et
ונאמר
וחיה אדוני
למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Turn to page 131 for the Mourner's Kaddish. And tonight we remember the following ancestors. Selma Meckler, the mother of Karen Meckler. Alvin Meckler, the father of Karen Meckler. Lila Bacharach, the mother of Richard Bacharach. Eugene Casaza, the father of Mary Casaza. David Eskin, the father of Tamar Eskin. Myron Feinberg, the father of Jay Feinberg. Vanya Feldstein, the grandmother of Adrian Zerath. Esther Fox, the mother of Eugene Fox. Jane Freilich, the mother of Bill Freilich and grandmother of Talia Freilich. Harold Gable, the father of Daniel Gable. Suzanne Glazer, the mother of Dan Glazer. Philip Mark Gould, the brother of Hannah Gould. Harold Kirsch, the grandfather of Jeremy Kirsch. Arthur Kramer, the son of Gershon Kramer and of Beryl Kramer. Norman Leader, the father of Amy Gottesman. Sari Levy, the mother of Andrew Levy. Selma Leib, the mother of Martin Leib. Charlotte Doris Lomke, the mother of Mitchell Lomke. Claire London, the mother of Janice Horse. Donald Narshensfeld, the grandfather of Matthew Levine. Sample person, Sarah Leah Pomerantz, the great-grandmother of Mark Pomerantz. Sarah Rosenthal, the mother of Ruth White. Josephine Shapiro, the grandmother of Ann Miller. Cecile Schulman, the mother of Susan Rapp. Gladys Spitzer, the mother of Sherry Obler. Harvey Stein, the father of Mitch Stein. Florence Stemple, the aunt of Francis McKeno. William Taylor, the father of Mike Taylor. Gina Lavinia Weissman, the sister of Louis Weissman. Marion White, the sister of Pauline Pivawar, and Kenneth Wilson, the husband of Susan Wilson. If there are other names you'd like to put into the chat of someone you are saying Kaddish for or remembering, I invite you to do so. And if you are in mourning, or if you are remembering a yahrzeit, or it is your custom to rise at this moment, I invite you to do so as well. What you just added for chat? We're also remembering Harry Brown, the grandfather of Ronnie Brown, and David Friedel, the brother of Mary Meyerson. Thank you. Yitkadam v'yitkadash shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Bialma divrach yiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh. V'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kari v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam olam
Maya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yithalal shmei d'kudesha
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata Damiran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Ose shalom b'mumav hu yaseh shalom עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו Amen. May their memories be for a blessing. So we have some brief announcements before our closing song and oneg in the social hall. Tomorrow morning, we hope you will join us to learn more about witnesses and other things related to justice from Alex Krieger, and to celebrate with his family and support him in stepping forward into his leadership in our community and in the world. The high holiday registration deadline has been extended, but please do RSVP ASAP for whether it's Zoom or whether it's in person. All sorts of deadlines. You can find the links in the e-news and on our website. Children and teens should be registered and share the word with those you know who are children and who are not yet here at OSE. But please, we want to get those kids registered and part of our community here supporting them in that, as well as for high holiday registration. If you need a machzor, a prayer book for the high holy days, stay tuned for things, whether you are again Zooming or in person, because you can once again borrow machzorim from the congregation. So contact the congregation to come by and arrange a time to come get them. What is this thing? Rabbi Josh created some video. What? Oh yes, he created a video. Oh, he's not, where did he step away? He created a video, and you can find it online about in honor of Elul and its invitation to deepen our prayer lives. So check that out. You can find the link in the e-news. So it's a good video. I suggest it. He is also teaching a class this Monday and the following Monday evening on the 13 attributes when we sing at the holidays. Adonai, Adonai el-Rachum b'chanun, right? These attributes, these characteristics of God. If we want to understand and tap into what are they about, what is that meaningful? How is that meaningful for me? How does it apply to me other than the powerful chanting of the music? Check it out Monday evening. And it is, I think, only on Zoom. So available to everybody wherever you happen to be. Check it out on Zoom. There's shofar blowing also for this month of Elul on Sunday mornings and Tuesday evenings. Information is in the e-news. And in a couple weeks, come back here for our Slichot Saturday evening special program. Will be music from Alan and Zev and others in our community. Cantor Charlie will be here, and so we'll have some musical programming before, and then bring some Rosh Hashanah style desserts, and then we'll have our Slichot service after that. And very last announcement, if you know somebody who's a young adult, 20s to 40 or so. Next Saturday evening in Silver Spring, I will be doing a program of Havdalah and conversation about how does Judaism actually, might Judaism actually have something to offer us for those who are seeking and wondering, how do I actually connect to Judaism, and does it actually a source of meaning in my life? Direct them to me. There's a registration, just simple information form. Thank you. A simple form that they can just sign up to get the details, or they can just reach out to me. Our OSE Facebook page has an event on it, and so they can also find all the details that way. So lots going on. In short, always check the e-news, check the website, and another announcement. Yes, please, Craig.
Yes, thank you. We would like to admit to the community of suggestions for the Holy Days. Please sign up and register to come services. Then home you trade or but for any service, it's going to be any an hour or so for this that's out for those. And watch it.
Thank you, Craig. So for those of you on Zoom, right, the point is when we gather in holy community, how we enter into this space starts with those who are greeting us. So if you would like to help people arrive into this place and be greeted and be welcomed and get oriented and do that sacred service so we can all do a sacred service together, please, when you fill out your registration, click, I am happy to be at services, and I'm honored to be at services and to help in welcoming others as well. And Craig's the contact if you have questions. Great. So we will close with a special closing song. And thank you again to Cantor Emeritus Charlie, and to Elise for this wonderful program, and Saul, ask Saul questions if you have questions about the work that he has done in this and that initiation. So Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
Shabbat Shalom. One more song with Cantor Charlie and with our special guest, Elise Bryant.
None of us are free.
And thank you, Cantor Caitlin. You have a beautiful voice, and it's an honor to sing.
It is such a pleasure to share this Bimah with you, and to have you lead us in song. As a song leader myself, I always am so amazed when I see a master at work, and want to take some of those tricks away with me. And thank you so much for leading us today.
Barry Mann and Cynthia Weil are Jewish songwriters who penned many of the great songs of early rock and roll, including Saturday Night at the Movies by the Drifters, Uptown by the Ronettes, and You've Lost That Lovin' Feelin' by the Righteous Brothers. In 1993, they joined African-American singer, songwriter, and producer Brenda Russell to write an anthem that was first recorded by Ray Charles. The song was None of Us Are Free, and it says, none of us are free if one of us is chained. Better listen, my brother, 'cause if you do, you can hear there are voices still calling from across the years. And they're crying across the ocean, they're crying across the land, and they will until we all come to understand. None of us are free.
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 None of us are free if one of us is chained. None of us are free. None of us are free.
None of us are free.
None of us are free.
None of us are free.
None of us are free if one of us is chained. None of us are free.
There are people in darkness who just can't see the light. If we don't say it's wrong, but says it's right. We have to feel for each other, let our brothers know we're here. Got to get that message, send that out loud and clear.
None of us are free.
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 None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. It's the single truth
It's a single truth.
we all need to see.
We all need to see.
None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free.
It's very hard to find. None of us can find it on our own. We gotta stick together. It's on mine. All the souls are suffering. No, they're not alone.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. None of us are free. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. None of us are free. If you just look around you, you're gonna see what I say, that the world is getting smaller each passing day. It's time to make some changes. It's time we all realize that the truth is shining right before our eyes. None of us are free.
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 None of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. In the very heart
In the very heart
of humanity,
of humanity.
none of us are free. If one of us is chained, none of us are free. None of us, 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 none of us are free. None of us, 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 none of us are free. Shabbat Shalom. Yom Avodah Sameach.